I wanted to be a pilot, and so that was, it worked out well for me. And it had to do with this, defending Laos against the communist takeover. And I wanted to be where the action was. The war in Laos was a secret. It had to do with the 1964 Geneva Accords, I think, with no combatants in the country. And we basically put in airstrikes at the request of the General Vang Pao, who was an American friend fighting the communists in Laos. In Vietnam, of course, we supported the South Vietnamese, with regular military style, wearing uniforms, the lingo, everything, the radio talk. In Laos, it was a little different. We were civilian clothes. We're putting in airstrikes, the same thing we did in Vietnam, but at the direction of the people who ran the war there. And General Vang Pao was the Hmong general who we supported in Laos. We controlled the air. We had air superiority. And during the dry season, we kept our outposts, most of them on top of mountaintop. And then in the rainy season, we didn't have air cover. The Pathet Lao would basically take a lot of those things back again. So it was a seesaw battle, back and forth, back and forth. As the first mission I flew as a Raven, a friend of mine took me up, it's called a dollar ride. They kind of show you the area, stay away from this place, this bad, you got guns with bad people, and this place is all right. And we took a round through the airplane. No one got hurt, no one got any exit out the side of the door. And I said, well, this is quite a welcome. And I was obviously adrenaline's flowing and this type of stuff. And I said, and my friend that's giving me this dollar ride, he said, welcome to Laos. I took some hits. And a couple buddies of mine, they had a bullet through the windshield. He came in and shattered the windshield. That gets your attention. There are times I'm by myself, and there's other time we would fly with a backseater. We'd call him, it would be a Hmong that spoke his language to the people on the ground, directing where the airstrike should go. And then he would relay the information to me, and would scout it out, and it's approved, and we would try to get some fighters to come in there. Usually it's a flight of 2, sometimes a flight of 4. We were responsible for it, telling them what targets to hit, when to pull off, or continue to hit it. Basically, like the night before, we would check with General Vang Pao, and he says, I got an operation going on in a certain area in Laos. I want you to come up and destroy this particular target. I became real close to the Hmong. They were good fighters. And they had a lot against them, with the surrounded by the Pathet Lao and the North Vietnamese and you name it. And I just felt like we were doing something right and something good for these people. And to this day, there's lots of them that live in this country now, and we took care of them and they took care of us. Looking back on my experience, while I was in Laos, gave me a little different perspectives. I see how other people live, that we're so fortunate as Americans that a lot of people don't have the luxury that we have. And I've always had a soft spot in my heart for people that like the Hmong, who are, they were basically subsistent living, and how loyal they were to General Vang Pao and wanting to be free, But good people, I loved them. It's really good people. I think it made me appreciate my country better, and hopefully I can keep that feeling with me.
These personal Vietnam War stories are made possible by these sponsors.